Hello guys, welcome once again to my PM Mastery Class Day 2 on K Connect. Hope you enjoyed the previous video, which was about downloading and installing of Adobe Photoshop CC 2019, and I hope you enjoyed the video as well. Well, if you do, let me see you in the comment section, because we are about to do different things today as well. And if you are new here, welcome to K Connect, and please subscribe to stay updated anytime we drop new tutorial about Photoshop, video editing, After Effects, Media Encoder, Adobe, all the Adobe software that you need to know. So today we are going to see the startup and the interface of Adobe Photoshop CC 2019. In the previous video that we watched, in the previous class, we installed the Photoshop. We downloaded it from a website called getintopc.com. So if you don't have that video, please go back to the previous video and watch it, because today we are going to learn about the startup and the interface of Adobe Photoshop CC 2019. And I've already informed you, I have a couple version of Photoshop that I'm using on this PC, but I decided to use 19 for my tutorials, and I have a special reason for that. Okay, so without wasting much time, let's get into it by launching our Photoshop CC 2019. Okay, so there are two ways of launching the Adobe Photoshop CC 2019 on your PC. One, you go to your start button, you click on it, then you search for Photoshop CC 2019. Yes, I have it here. Or you pin it to your, okay, so you see I have pinned it to my taskbar. That is why I have it here. Yes, so I have pinned mine to my taskbar. So it's just a quick launch here. I click on it it's just one click, then it will take you to the Photoshop CC 2019. Okay, so this is the interface. It says welcome to Photoshop. This is the interface of my Adobe Photoshop CC 2019. This is a couple of designs that I've been doing recently, and don't expect your own to be like this, because maybe your own is a new installation that you've not done any project yet. So if your own happens not to be this, please don't worry. We are going to be doing all this stuff so that at the end of this class you will be knowing how to design all this stuff. So welcome to Photoshop, and welcome to K Connect, and welcome to Adobe Mastery Class Day 2. Okay, so because I have all these projects here and my settings always takes me to my recent project that I've been doing, I have to create a new so that it take me to the main thing that we are going to do for today. We will come on the creating of the sheet, don't worry. So this is the interface of Adobe Photoshop CC 2019. If this happens to be your first time, don't worry. I'm going to take you step by step to everything, every feature of the software and everything that you need to know about it. Alright, so knowing the startup screen, that is what I taught you. That is what I said about my project and stuff. If your own doesn't appear to be many projects, that means you've not done anything yet. So you just have to go straight and create new. Okay, so let's go to the tools. Okay, so if your Photoshop happens to not having this tab here, it happens not to having this tab here. You see this tab here. If you are not having it here, you go to Window. Okay, then you look for tools. Yes, you see mine is gone. Yeah, so assuming your own is not appearing here, you go to Window, then you look for tools. Okay, so for the tools, we are going to hover the mouse over it. I'll tell you the name and the usage of it. So the first tool here is the move tool. The move tool moves a selection or a layer. So it happens to be in case whereby you have something on your screen, you want to move it to different direction, you go for the move tool, then you move it. The rectangular mark tool is also for selection. You have any object or image on your screen, you want to select some part and cut it off, yes, you just go for the rectangular mark tool. The next tool here is the lasso tool. It happens when you have an image and you want to cut off the image, you want to separate the image from the background. You have on favorite background that you want to cut off the image from, you just go for the lasso tool, you cut off the image, from the background. You just place the image on different background on something else. That is the lasso tool, the use of the lasso tool. When you click and drag it to the right hand side, you see there are other options there. Yes, so note something here. Any tool that you see this small arrow here, that means there are other tools at the down there. Yeah, so how do you see them, or how do you reveal them? You just have to click and hold and drag it to the right hand side. So we have the polygonal lasso tool. The polygonal lasso tool is the same as the lasso tool. You just have to, yes, assuming I'm cutting off some space of an image, yeah, you just have to go with this. Yes, all right. And we have the magnetic lasso tool. It's the same thing. This one is quick when cutting off something that with no sharp. When cutting off something that doesn't have straight surface, when cutting off something that is curvy surface, you just have to go for the magnetic, and it will take you like 1 second to cut off that thing. Yeah. All right. Okay, so let's move on to the next tool. The next tool is quick selection tool. The quick selection tool is the brother or a sister to the lasso tool, because they perform the same action. Most of designers use the lasso tool more than the quick selection, because the quick selection tool sometimes doesn't work perfect when cutting out some image. You want to change up the background of an image, and the quick selection tool is sometimes misbehaving, sometimes giving you stretch and stuff. You just have to go for your lasso tool, because the lasso tool will enhance you cut every single thing that you want to cut. Yes, so you go for the lasso tool. And then the quick selection tool also sometimes does some magic with the magic wand tool. Assuming you have a flower and you want to change the background of the flower, you just have to go for the lasso tool. Okay, so let's try something here. Let's try some image here. Okay, so I'm with the magic wand tool. When I click inside, it will automatically select everything that is inside there. Yeah, yeah. You see how it works. So it will select everything here. So when I say layer via copy, it will give me only that part that I copied. I will go for my move to, then I move it to a different direction. So this is it here. I just don't want to make this video long, because this video is going to entail much. The interface is going to be long, and I don't want to use them. I don't want to use the tools right here, because the tools are going to be used every day. That is why I'm not using them on this sheet. Yeah, so let's go to the next tool. The next tool is crop tool, and I think everyone who is watching this video know something small about cropping an image, or reducing or changing the size of an image, or changing the size of something with Photoshop, with phone. Everyone has been using cropping tool on his or your phone. This isn't a new tool that you've seen here. You've met a tool on your phone right here inside the editing software. Yeah, so when you go for crop tool, the crop tool changes the size or the image size. It changes the image size for you. You can choose to go for any other inches, like 2 inches, and it will change it to 2 inches for you. You just go for escape and escape again. Yeah, so the next tool here, I've already said any tool that you see this arrow here, that means there are more tools there, of which we are going to use them more. Okay, so the tools, we are going to fast up with the tools. Okay, so the next tool is the frame tool. Assuming you have a frame here, this is my frame, I place image on it, and I want to put the image to fit the frame. I just have to go for the frame tool, click on it, hold Alt and tap on it. It will automatically fit the image with the frame with just one click. Eyedropper tool, that is the magic tool that everyone is talking about. That is why everyone is trying to use different versions of Photoshop, but I am stuck here, because this eyedropper tool sometimes works, sometimes doesn't work properly in 2019, and I'm not saying it's not going to work. It works perfectly, don't worry. So the eyedropper tool is for selection of colors If you want to pick a color from an image to your design, you just go for the eyedropper tool, then you click on it. The moment you click on it, it will select where you've clicked the color. It will select it here, so you can see the colors here. Let's click here. You see it's white here. Check here and see if it's white. Let's change the background and see. You see it's here. Alright, so let's go for the default. The next tool is the spot healing tool. This is one of the photo editing tools. It's used to remove marks and blemishes from an image. Assuming you have a blemish on someone's face, dark spot, you just want to remove it. This beautiful girl having these blemishes, I have to edit it and remove it. Just drop the picture inside Photoshop, go for spot healing brush tool, which is the keyboard shortcut J. Then you use it to remove any blemishes or dark spots, anything that you don't want. The next tool here is the brush tool. Everyone knows the brush tool is used for painting. The next tool is the clone stamp tool. You have an image and you want to clone it. You want to make it double. You want the image or some part of the image to appear twice in the photo. You just have to go for the clone tool, then you double click on it. The next tool is history brush tool. The history brush tool hides image and reveal it with your own specification any way that you want it. So the eraser tool is used to change pixels or colors, make them transparent here. If you want to make some part of your video transparent, you go for the eraser tool. The eraser tool can also be used to clean. If you want to clean some part of your image, you will go for eraser tool, then you clean it. So the keyboard shortcut for eraser is E. The next tool here is gradient tool. When you have the gradient, for the gradient tool, I can use it right here. Okay, so the gradient tool is a combination of two or more colors. So you go for the gradient tool, you can click and drag here to have this beautiful color here. And the next tool is the blur tool. If you want to blur out some space of your image, you just have to go for the blur tool, click and drag, click and drag, click and drag it to blur out some space. Okay, so assuming we have an image that we don't want the background to be that sharp, we want to blur the background. What do? We go for our lasso tool, we crop out this image. After cropping the image, then you go for blur tool, then you differentiate between the image and the background. You go for your blur tool, then you blur the background. The next tool we have here is the dodge tool. We have the bend and dodge. Bend is for the darken part and the dodge is for lighten part. Bending means darkening some space of your image. Assuming you have a model's face, you want to bend and dodge some part of the space, you just have to go for your dodge tool, which is the lighten space, making some parts brighten up, and the bend tool means making some parts darken up. The next tool is our pen tool. Mark or change path or shapes with another point or handles. So the drawing of curves, lines, shapes, everything that you want to use it for is the use of the pen tool right here. The next tool we have here is the type tool. We have two types of the type tool. We have the horizontal and the vertical type tool. You click and drag it to the right hand side to reveal the other properties here. This is the horizontal type tool. It types from where? From left to right. And the vertical type tool types from up to down or from down to up. The next tool we have here is the path selection tool. So after drawing a path with your pen tool, then you move the path that you've selected. The next tool is the rectangle shape tool. Not only the rectangle that we have here, when you click and drag it to the right hand side, you'll see other properties like rounded rectangle, ellipse tool, polygon tool. So let's try and draw some polygon right here and see how. So the rotate view too. Rotate view rotates everything on the screen. It doesn't only rotate what you have on the screen or your work. No, it rotates the screen, everything on the screen. Assuming you want to have the other view of what you've designed, you want to turn it upside down, you just have to go for the rotate tool and you go. We have the hand tool. I have it here, the hand tool. This is the use of the hand tool. It helps you not interrupt with other layers that you are designing. It helps you scroll through and see every space that you want to view it. Okay, so the zoom tool also magnify or reduces the view of your image. So let's go for the zoom tool. You click on it, you see how it appears. Okay, so you right click and go to fit on screen. It will send you back to the normal size of your sheet. Alright, so we are done for the tools, and let's move on to the next step, which is the tabs. Yeah, okay, so the tabs, we have the tool here, we have our home. If you want to go back to your previous project that you are doing, you go to home, or you go to file, open recent, then you have all these recent projects that you are doing right here. This is the sheet that we are working on. You can undock and dock it. So when docking it, you just have to click and hold, then push it to the top. Make sure you have this blue thing before you release your mouse. Okay, so I have it docked here, and if I want to undock it too, you click on the sheet. This is the title of the sheet. Because I didn't rename it, that's why it's untitled. So you click and hold it and drag it down to have it undock. Yes, you can choose to minimize it to any size that you want. Creating of new sheets. One is using keyboard shortcut Ctrl+N, and two is going to file, new, and it will also take you to the new document panel. Another feature that we need to know about the working space is the creating of new layer. Everything that you do, please create a new layer. If you are going to type, if you are going to import image, if you are going to import anything, please create a layer before you do. And how do you create a new layer? A new layer icon is down here, which is this one. So you click on it to create a new layer. It is very easy. So if you want to delete a layer, you click and drag it here to this recycle bin item. Yes, deleted. We have the channels here, and I'm using Ctrl+2 is for the RGB, Ctrl+3 is for red, Ctrl+4 is for green alone. So you see, it will give you all these color channels and stuff. I want to use the RGB because it contains all the colors and stuff. I don't want to remove any color from my image. Let's move on to the path. We don't have anything drawn to path here. We don't have anything you used the path for. That is why the path, nothing is appearing here. And we have our layers here. Let's go to the colors. Okay, so moving on to the next step, I think we've done timeline and layers. That is what I taught you, how to create a layer and how to change position in the timeline. And if you are asking where is the timeline, this is the timeline, please. Here is the timeline. That is why I said anything that is happening to appear here, the information will appear here. You have every information of the image here. So if you want to move, if you want to delete, if you want to do anything, yes, you go for it here. Yes, gone. Okay, so moving on to the next step is colors. Okay, so let's learn something quick about the Adobe Photoshop CC 2019. Colors that it has and colors that we are going to use for our design. Okay, so we have the swatches. We have the swatches color here. And the swatches is the same as the swatches that appear here, which is the foreground and the background color. Yes, so we have the foreground. Foreground means the front color and the background means the back color. Okay, so let's create a new layer. Move it to top as I taught you. Then let's create something like this. Yes, so you see when I click on pure red, it happens that pure red also appears here. When I click on let's go for what's the name of this color, dark red, it appears that dark red will also appear here, because any color that we choose in the swatches happens to be our foreground color. That is why. Yes, that is why. Don't ask me more about it. That is why. So if we are using this eyedropper tool, where is the eyedropper tool? If you are using this eyedropper tool, you click here. You see, you have this color to your foreground. If you click on the yellow of the eagle, you see, you have it here. Yes. All right. So the next thing that you need to know about the interface, is the adjustment, which is going to be used in photo editing if you want to retouch photos. The day that we will learn about retouching photos, we are going to learn more about this adjustment stuff. Let's move on straight to our window and try to add some features to our screen that is going to enhance our that is going to help us design very easy and quick as well. Okay, so this is all you need to know about the interface. Okay, so one thing you should note here, if you are using this background, assuming there is no background here and I'm using this color of the eagle, it happens that the background of my working space is also like ash. How do I change that one? Okay, so you have to right click here, go for the black, yes, so that it will differentiate between this space and your image or your document. If the black is still not suiting your design, you right click again and go to custom. Yes, you right click again and go to select color, then you choose the custom color you want for your software background. Okay, so the next feature is effect. What is effect doing in design? Yes, effect happens to be one feature in editing software. So what is it doing in design? Yes, effect is in designing, and let's try and use this image. Okay, let's delete it. Let's delete this one too, which is the backspace on your keyboard. If you want to delete anything, very easy here. One step is to click and drag it, another step is select and delete. Yes, so create a new sheet, then let's go for horizontal type 2. Then let's type okay, connect. How do I make this text big? How do I enlarge this text? I want to make it big. One step is go here and enlarge it, move it to any space that you want to move it to. We are going to apply effect to this text right here, and effect happens to appear at the down of the layers timeline here. Okay, so it is called layer styles, but I call it effect because it has this effects thing here, and any effect that you see is also called effect. So make sure you've selected your text layer. You go to add effects, then let's go to blending options. Yes, so with the blending option, it allows you to add more details, add more effect to your text. If you want to add like outer bevel, inner bevel, embossing it, something, anything that you want to do to your text, you just go there, then apply it. We will get here later and apply it. Yes, so when you take it, it will go off. When you untake it, it will wear. Okay, so you hide and unhide it to reveal the effect that you just applied. Okay, so let's go to drop shadow. Okay, so making a shadow in Photoshop is just easy and one click done. You just have to go to drop shadow, then you distance it, go to the size, distance is small. Yeah, so we see cancel. Yeah, we don't want to apply it because we are not designing, we are just learning. Yeah, and there's one feature that I want to add up here, which is the ruler tool. You see, if you are doing design and you don't have your ruler tool, it's going to give you stress because the dimensions, you won't be able to even draw a straight line. Okay, so if you can see, my space doesn't have this ruler tool here. How do I get it back to my space? Okay, so you go to view, then you go for ruler, which is the Control plus R. Yes, and I have my ruler back here. So if you want to draw any straight line, you go for your ruler, you click here and drag. Sometimes people ask me why do you use rulers? Yes, because it enhances me to go fast in designing. I want to move this text here. I just have to go for the rule tool and place it down so that I'll have my straight line. Yeah, I have my straight line. So ruler helps much. Please do well and bring your ruler back to your space if you don't have it. Yeah. Alright, so guys, this will bring us to the end of today's class, and thanks once again for staying in tune to K Connect. Every day that we drop videos, you do well and watch it to enhance your editing and designing abilities with your PC at home. Yeah, I always say it's not everything that you need to spend money for. It's not anything that I always say it's not anything that you'll be spending money on designing stuff from outside whilst you have your PC at home. So join this masterclass, then let's get it done quick within 1 month. So this is the day 2, and stay tuned for day 3. Bye.